This lecture is second year Petroleum Geology Department, Stratigraphy. The subject is Biostratigraphy. Biostratigraphy. Biostratigraphy, it means the characterization and correlation of rock units on the basis of their fossil content. There are different characters of the rocks, lithology, mineralogy, and so on. So in this subject, the characterization of the rocks is based on the basis of their fossil contents. It means if we make a correlation between different rock units, we are dealing about the fossil content between these two rock units. This is called biostratigraphy, which is one of the important branch of stratigraphy. Stratigraphic paleontology is also a kind of paleontological studies on the basis of paleontological characters of the rock units, in particular of sedimentary rocks, because most of the fossils is found in the sedimentary rocks. From the biostratigraphic studies, we can divide the rock units into different what you call biostratigraphic unit, الوحدات الطباقية الحياتية. So what we mean by biostratigraphic units? Biostratigraphic unit is a body of rock strata characterized by fossils content that distinguish and differentiated it from adjacent strata. For example, if you have two sections and there is a column of sedimentary rocks, if you want to make a correlation between these different rock units of these different sections on the basis of fossils, it is called biostratigraphic unit. You have to identify biostratigraphic unit on the basis of fossils contained, and each unit differentiated from the adjacent rock units on the basis of fossils content. From the biostratigraphy and from the biostratigraphic unit, we can identify what is called biozone. Biozone, it means bio, it's mean حياة or life. Zone, it means نطاق, النطاق الحياتي. So the sedimentary column or the any formations, if you want to study on the basis of the fossils, you can divide this formation in different biozone. On the basis of this biozone, you can determine the environment of deposition, and you can determine the age of these rock units. The biostratigraphic units can be divided into different kinds of biozone in the basis of distribution or the range of the fossils content. There are about 5 biozone on the basis of fossil content. The first one is called range biozone. The second one is called interval biozone. The third one is called lineage biozone. The fourth one is called assemblage biozone, and the fifth one is called abundance biozone. Now we have to discuss each of them separately. The first one, taxon range biozone. Taxon, it means fossils. It means fossils or index of fossils. Range, it means المدى يعني المدى, the first appearance and the last appearance of the index fossils or the fossils. And this is found in the course book, figure 14.3a, page 68. Page 68. The taxon range zone, every biozone, it means there is a rock unit. Rock units contains fossils. Taxon range biozone, it means the first occurrence and the last occurrence. بداية ظهور المصنف and نهاية ظهور المصنف. This is called taxon range biozone, يعني نطاق المدى للمصنف. نطاق المدى للمصنف. For example, this is the first occurrence. This is the the last occurrence. This is called between the first occurrence and between the last occurrence. It is called the taxon range zone. And in some fossils, there is an index fossils, which is the range zone of index fossils maybe determine the age of the rock units. This is the first type. The second type of biozone is called concurrent range zone. Concurrent range zone. Concurrent, it means overlap, تداخل. It means overlap, تداخل. There is a rock unit, but there is many taxon, there is many fossils, which is the first occurrence of fossils number A, and the last occurrence of number A. It differs from the first occurrence of number fossils number B, and last occurrence of fossils number B. It means overlap, تداخل. This is one fossils, and this is the other. You see, there is an interference or overlapping of these fossils. This is called concurrent range zone. It means is a body of rock that includes the concurrent coincident of overlapping part of the range zone of two specified taxa. تداخل. This is in figure 14.3p, page 68. The third type, it is called interval zone. What mean by interval zone? It means نطاق بيني, ما بين, between. It is a body of strata. When we're talking about biozone, you have to keep in your mind there is a rock units. There is a rock units, but you have to describe these rock units in the basis of the fossils content. Interval biozone is a body of strata between two specified biostratigraphic surface. Between two specified biostratigraphic surface or biohorizon. What do you mean by that? There is an index species. First occurrence and last occurrence. First occurrence and last occurrence. The number one, based on the first occurrence, there is index species, first occurrence, and there is an index species, another index species with the first occurrence. So this interval zone is situated between two first occurrence of index species, between two first occurrence of index species, between two first occurrence of index species. The second type of the interval zone is based on the last occurrence of index species. So this rock unit is situated between the last occurrence of two index species. So it is called interval biozone. It is found in the page 68, figure C and D. 68 in the course book, page 68, figure C and D. What's that mean? This is first occurrence of a species, and this is first occurrence another species. The space between these two is called interval zone. The same thing in the last occurrence. This is the last occurrence of a species, and this is the last occurrence of another species. The rock units between these two range of these species is called interval zone. The fourth one is called assemblage biozone. Assemblage biozone. It's also in the page 68, figure 14.3f. From assemblage biozone is association. Is association of different species present in the rock units with different range. So three or more species. It is characterized as a body of rock characterized by association of three or more taxa, distinguished these biostratigraphic units from another units. And this is assembly zone is not always important in the age determination. It is always used in the paleoecological or environment of deposition. The number 5 range biozone is based on the successive species in segment of an evolutionary range, which is found in the page 68, figure E. Figure A. Range, it means the evolutionary. Species B, it is originally come from the evolution of species A. Species C is come from evolutionary of species B, and so on. This is where you have to identify the evolutionary trend of the species may be found in some stratigraphic rock units. Abundance biozone, figure 14.3G. From the name of abundance, it is mean the wafra. It's mean الوفرة يعني الكثرة. Is body of rocks in which the abundance of particular or specified group of two taxa is greater than in the adjacent part of the section. How you can explain that? If you study rock units, for example, for the Havana Formation near Dhok City or Dhok Anticline Gilibistri, and you found that some species, if you take, for example, sample number 1 and sample number 2, sample number 3 from the rock units, and you found that the species number 1 or species number 2 formed about 100% or 90% of the species of the fossils found in these samples. So this is called abundance zone. If you correlate this with another area far from the Gilibistri, for example, and you found that this species is about 50%, so the first location, it is called abundance biozone. It means this is the suitable environment or the suitable age of these species. So this is the kind of different biozone. This is a simple explanation of biostratigraphy. The application of biostratigraphy is it is very important in determination the age of the different formation. So when you take samples from different formation and examine the fossils content, you can, on the basis of biostratigraphic unit, which is depends on the index species, index fossils, which is the index fossils is characterized by short vertical range and wide geographical distribution. It's mean by short vertical range, it is determined the age. So the some fossils content, it is the age determination of Middle Eocene, for example. Other fossils, it is determination, for example, the lower Eocene. So when you found the species, the range on the Middle Eocene, so this rock unit is age Middle Eocene. Another species which is index species for the lower Eocene, so this is the rock units, it's the age of lower Eocene. So this is one of the most important biostratigraphic zone, in addition to the environment of deposition, in addition to the biocorrelation, in addition to the, sometimes it's very useful in the paleogeographical studies. The other subject of stratigraphy, it's called the Chrono Stratigraphy. Chrono Stratigraphy. If you are looking about the English term, chrono and stratigraphy. Chrono, it means time. Stratigraphy is mean طباقية. So it is الطباقية الزمنية. الطباقية الزمنية. Here it's biostratigraphy الطباقية الحياتية. Bio is life, stratigraphy طباقية. So biostratigraphy الطباقية الحياتية. Chrono Stratigraphy is called الطباقية الزمنية. So Chrono Stratigraphy, it is a branch of stratigraphy which is related to the time. Time, what's mean by time? Geological time. Geological time. The time, it means the time relationship among rock units is called chronostratigraphy. A chronostratigraphy. The stratigraphic unit defined in the basis of time. It is called geological time units. Geological are called geological time units. So this rock unit is middle Miocene. This rock unit, it is lower Miocene. This is correlated in the basis of what? In the basis of time. Chronostratigraphy. Chronostratigraphy, it means وحدات طباقية. وحدات طباقية, the age of determination, it depends on the time of the deposition of these rock units. These rock units deposited in Middle Eocene, another rock unit is deposited in the lower Miocene. So this is the time relation among rock units. We are talking about time and rock unit. It is called the chronostratigraphy. It is called a chronostratigraphy. From the study, this is found in the page 77 in the course book. From the study of geological time unit, page 77, look, geological time unit, there is no mention about rock. So it is just only a time. It is conceptual units, يعني غير ملموسة, not tangible. غير ملموسة, this is means, for example, this formation is 60 million years, this formation is 10 million years, this formation is 5 million years. This is called geological time units. Absolute time. When called Chrono Stratigraphy, stratigraphy, it means rock. Chrono, it means zaman. So there is a rock unit with what? With time. But when we say geological time unit, it is absolute time. So this formation, the age is 50 million years. This formation is deposited 30 million years ago. So this is geological time units, are conceptual units rather than actual rock units. And this geological time unit is based on the stratotype. For each time unit, there is a stratotype based on the actual rock section. For example, Cambrian age, it is based on the Cambrian rocks, which is deposited in the Cambrian time, the beginning of the Paleozoic, and the stratotype of Cambrian is in Canberra in Great Britain. From the geological time unit, you can make a correlation between geochronological unit and geochronostratigraphic unit, which are the basic or to evaluate or to create a geological time scale. As you know, the geological time scale is divided into Precambrian, then Paleozoic, then Mesozoic, then Cenozoic. Paleozoic, it means Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian, Carboniferous, Permian. All of these, it is represented stratotype over the world. And the same thing for Mesozoic and Cenozoic. Geochronological unit, look to the English term. Geochronological unit, there is no mention of what rocks. بس وحدة زمنية جيولوجية. There is no يعني ماكو شيء ملموس. Time. It is only time. It's eon, era, period, epoch, age, chron. And this is in the course book page 79. Geochronostratigraphic unit, look, stratigraphic unit. When I said stratigraphic unit, it means there is a rock unit. It's divided into enothium, erythium, system, series, stage, chronozone. For geochronological unit, it means time unit. Chronostratigraphic unit, it means chronostratigraphy deposited during special time units. So the chronostratigraphic unit, material references. شوف, look, chronostratigraphy, when I say the chronostratigraphy, there is a material. يعني rocks unit. Material reference for all rocks formed during the same span of time. As I mentioned, for example, Cambrian or Ordovician. For example, the oldest formation is Khabur, and the region is Khabur quartzite formation. Khabur quartzite is deposited in the Ordovician, but it's not all Ordovician, maybe middle Ordovician. This, from where we can, if we compare to the stratotype of the Ordovician, there is a span of time. Beginning of Ordovician and end of the Ordovician, and beginning of Ordovician and end of the Ordovician. This is called geochronological unit. But Khabur quartzite, it's a stratigraphic unit, material deposited during the Ordovician. How I can conclude that? Because it is referred to the chronostratigraphy unit, the references type, stratotype, which is material reference for all rocks formed during the same spans of time over the world. So the next lecture will be about correlation.